Hey everybody, welcome to today's daily market commentary. It is Wednesday, December the 13th, 2017. Hope everybody had a great trading day. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. Glad you're able to make it. For those of you that have been here before, sorry, my jokes aren't getting any better. No, those of you that are new, we look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day. And the most important thing is we leave the lines on the charts. Holds me accountable, holds you accountable, allows you to see how trades develop over time. So let's go ahead and dive into it, beginning with the S&P. Now, we have reached that time of the year where it's a little bit more of a ho-hum, right? A ho to the hum and not a whole lot happening, which is exactly what happened today. We were able to get ourselves up to this 2675 half, a brand new all-time high in the markets, and then it just kind of petered off. Not a whole lot of movement in there. We didn't really have any levels or areas set up for potential trades in the S&P from the prior commentaries, and I don't really see myself adding any at this time. There is a potential, I guess, for some long trades. You know, we're at a point now where if you wanted to be long now on maybe some of this upward trend line movement, you could be. I will say this about our upward trend line movement on the hourly chart. You know, we have broken this upward trend line, and we came below that thing sometime earlier in the week, and then have not been able to get back above it. So, you know, that's a weakening momentum signal. You know, I've been talking for a little bit about the momentum weakening, just a smidge, and that's kind of what we're seeing happening. So certainly I'm in no way looking to short this market at all, but it's just something to consider. Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq, we did have a few areas set up. The Nasdaq, we had our entry a couple of days ago, called that thing very nicely. Price came up, hit its target, and then we had a breakout long. Now that breakout long setup that we had, I did anticipate price hitting here and just being able to run, and that did not happen. Still haven't been stopped out of the position because remember on one of these breakout trades, your stop is going to go below the prior swing low. So this one still very well could work out. It very well could fail. It's really not performing the way I would expect a good breakout trade to perform, but it is still in play. As we did break out above, stop would be below the prior pivot low, anticipating a move to go a bit higher. Next would be the crude oil trade. So looking at crude, I talked yesterday. I didn't have the chutzpah to put the lines on the charts. I probably should have, but I talked yesterday about this particular region right there, that fair price area and price retesting and then getting a move away from it, and that's exactly what happened. I can't claim credit for it because I didn't draw the lines. That's why we draw the lines. They don't count. And more important than not drawing the lines is I didn't take the trade, which is more frustrating. But you know, I wasn't quite sold on it, and so I didn't dive in on it. I'm going to let that thing be. You know, I think that there's still room for this thing to continue to fall. And if you're a small time frame trader looking for smaller time frame opportunities, you know, you may get a retest of this pivot right here sometime in the overnight hours. Now, gold. Let's talk about gold for a minute. In the past, I did a session on candle-to-candle trading. For those of you that were able to watch it, I did a live class, and then I actually did a second part on it for some questions. And this is an example of candle-to-candle trading. Yesterday, I talked about how this level didn't have a good hourly reversal point in it. It just didn't have an hourly reversal point that made sense to me. So I wasn't going to take it off the hourly chart. But one of the things I said yesterday was, for those of you that are interested in taking a candle-to-candle trade, you could get long on the breakout above this candle's high. And yesterday we were sitting on, this is a reversal candlestick in a high probability area. So in that case, you're getting long right here, and your stop loss is going to go right here. Now, since we've ended the day, your stop loss, if you're trading in this style, is you're gonna take that stop loss and you would move it up to below today's low. Now you've not locked in any profit yet, but you move it up to below today's low. And then if tomorrow we get another candle with a higher high, then you would move your stop up to below the prior day's low and continue to do that until it reaches your price target. And I do believe that 1274 is still a pretty valid price target. So for those of you that are trading in the candle-to-candle style, this one is still viable for you and kind of working out. So we talked about that in the video yesterday, and so hopefully some of you are able to catch on that. Looking at our bonds, Aussie, Euro, and Canadian dollar, the Aussie levels. Nothing is still in play in the Aussie as I take a look at this. You know, I talked yesterday about this being a potential reversal point, but I was not drawing the lines because it had already been hit right through here. So I left it alone in that area. I don't feel like we're going to get a big reversal off of here. We very well could, but I actually feel a little bit better about this area down in here. So this area down in here, you could see acting as a reversal point in the future. So keep this area in mind going forward. In the bonds, once again, not a whole lot. Everywhere is kind of in between where we've been. Let's talk about the euro for a moment. So the euro, we had a short off of this area right here, and this was a short off of this area. And yesterday we talked about you should probably have taken money off the table or at the very least moved your stop down. And so you should not be in this trade any longer. No reason to be in this thing. Probably should have closed out for a profit if you did move your stop down and manage that trade accordingly. Where is it going to continue to go? Well, there is the rollover gap, which depending on the platform that you're trading, if you're using one of those, we've got a little bit of an area here that I think could act as a magnet for price. So keep that area in mind. We also still have a little 15-minute level down below. Canadian dollar, we just can't seem to get the breakout. It's just killing me. And I quote in the great words of the Sandlot, "You're killing me, Smalls." I can't seem to get the breakdown. And that breakdown, it'll come. Eventually, that'll come. And I believe that there's room for the Canadian dollar to fall when indeed we get that breakdown. Last but certainly not least, looking at our Japanese yen, nat gas, British pound, and copper levels. Start with the Japanese yen. So on the yen, we got a little bit of a rally up. We still weren't able to get to the reversal point here in this area. We had talked about if it does get to this area that our target point would be here. Obviously, price has already come back up to that range. So let me remove this. So the area is still valid and still a good opportunity. It's just not something that we're going to wind up catching today or tomorrow. In the copper markets, we've got an upward movement. We can finally put this level on the charts as we're finally making our way back into this region. And then Great British Pound, we don't really have a whole lot set up. There's not a lot screaming at us in the pound. Still have a level, an area down in here, but price has not quite reached that particular area. Last but certainly not least, I do want to highlight, just to take a quick look at the Bitcoin futures. Now, we had talked about in Bitcoin a potential breakdown below this 17,420 region for price to kind of get down into this 16,000 for a reversal. Didn't quite make it to that 16,000 as a reversal, and that was really found on the 15-minute chart. Once again, I'm just kind of analyzing it. I'm not trading it at all, by the way. I don't know enough about it to trade it. I've not had enough, there's not enough history in it yet, but I am at least going to analyze it for you, and we're going to see how the reversals happen over time in these. So here's a little area right here that I would be excited to see if we get a reversal, and I want to make it a bit wider, right through here. I'm going to put that in purple because that was found on the 15-minute chart. And let's just see if we get a bit of a reversal off of those particular areas. I know there's a lot of experts out there in Bitcoin. I'm working on making myself one. I'm just not there yet. So keep an eye on this one. I do notice this. Since the initial, the first day or two of Bitcoin on a 15-minute chart, you're seeing a few more gaps in the overnight hours. Now, during market hours, during the cash session, no gaps. But in the overnight hours, it's not trading with a super high degree of liquidity. All day today, it came down. Let's see if we get a reversal back up into here and price comes down from there. So it's kind of fun just to look at right now. So if you have any questions, please do me a favor. Feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Chuck@IIE Financial. Whatever I can do to help, I am certainly here to do so. Thank you so much for watching these videos every day. Your feedback really, really means a lot. And if you have any questions, reach out. Talk to you soon.